Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For today's videos, I'm going to go over the skill tree system for RE 307 or 307 mobiles. So this one is going to be pretty straightforward. What you want to do is actually click on this icon on the top right corner. And once you click on that, you are going into the skill tree UI or user interface. Now, there are 3 advancement classes in total, which include the Elementalist, Cryomancer, and Pyromancer. Now, in order to advance into these classes, there are 2 different buttons on the top right corner. And you can see here, this button allows you to kind of inspect the skill effect, but also the skill status. And the other one is going to be a specialized system button. So what you're going to do is click on that, and it will require you one specific item in order for you to advance into this class. Now, if you do the quest between level 6 to 7 around there, you will receive your first class switching stones. And from there, you can actually choose any class of your choice. So for example, I chose Elementalist because this is one of the best class right now for the wizard. And that is pretty much straightforward. Now, the best part about the skill tree system for the mobile version is that you can actually switch class at any time you want. So for example, as of right now, my class is Elementalist. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to another classes. Go and click on this button right here and go to the core class, which is my wizard. I'm click on this button and I switch back to the wizard classes. If you already noticed that I don't bring along with my elemental skill, so you don't get to bring any other skill from different classes. So it's better that you invest into one of the class that you really want to play. As of right now, for me, it's going to be Elementalist because Elementalist has a lot of AoE skill damage, by the way. Single target damage as well. So like, for example, Fireball, we have Snowball. It's like a frozen orb style from Diablo where you throw the orb right in front of you and it does like multi-hit abilities for against monster or bosses, which is really good for single target damage, but also AoE damage as well. Now, the thing about Snowball, you actually have to hold onto this button to kind of charge up. Now, it's like a channel skill in one way or another, but it does quite a lot of damage once you catch a charge up this ability. The next one is going to be the chain lightning. The chain lightning does less damage the more target around your character. This is really good for single target damage, by the way, because you don't do less damage against single target damage. You do less damage in AoE damage, so you can actually use chain lightning for both AoE damage but also single target damage. The cooldown is roughly around 15 seconds, which is not bad in my opinions. And then we have the tornadoes. In my opinion, the damage is really weak, but it does multi-hit ability, which is really nice for a class that does both single and AoE damage. You can actually, well, basically as of right now, you have so much AoE damage already, and you can use the majority of AoE damage at the single target damage skill as well. So that's really nice. The next one is going to be your ultimate. This ultimate is heavily depending on your elemental passive, which is this passive right here. So every single skill that you cast, you will gain 1 stack, and you need at least 10 stack of these in order to cast the ultimate. And the ultimate does around 2,924% skill damage, which is super high, by the way. Now keep in mind that this skill can be cancelled by stun or crowd control ability, so that is something you want to avoid as much as possible when you casting the skill. The channel of the skill is very long, so make sure you have something that kind of distract the monster or alert the monster away. Maybe like a tank class like swordsman. I think that would be a better way to put it, because this skill does so much damage. It does require some reposition of your character in order to take advantages of the huge damage burst coming out from the skill. It had 120-second cooldowns, by the way, so that is one thing that you have to keep in mind. So going back to the core class and going back to some of the advanced class. Now for the core class, there is a passive effect, as you can see here. Now, unfortunately, I cannot translate everything in the one segment of this videos, but what I can tell you is that Elementalist has its own passive effect. Same goes with the Pyromancer, and then same goes with the Cryomancer. As far as I know, Cryomancer seems to be like an auto attack base class depending on your distance. The further you are from the distance between the monster and the character, the more damage that you're gonna do. So for example, for this on this description, it said that you are going to do 50% minimum damage up to 200% damage based on your distance between your character and the monster. So if anything, this is actually really nice in my opinions. Now there are specific attributes available in the skill tree as well. So let me go ahead and break down how this actually works. You actually need a job levels in order to unlock the new attributes. So it's completely different compared to the PC version. The PC version does require specific levels to unlock the attribute, but for this one, you can go up to level 25 to up to 30s. I believe yes, there's a level 31 as well. So this core class for the wizard does have a level 30 job. Let me switch to the wizard. If you already noticed that on my top left corner over here, you notice that my core wizard is level 6. However, if I switch to Elementalist, it's going to be level 9. Another important thing about the class attributes is actually the material that is required to unlock the high level attributes, which is the skill gemstone up here. Now, if you notice this yellowish brown icon that's showing up right here, it means that I'm eligible to unlock the attributes to a higher levels. Now, it does require at least one skill gemstone and a level 2 job Elementalist. So this one, I'm going to click here and I unlock the next level for my attribute, which is the class attributes. Now, that's applied the same thing for the majority of the skill attribute as well. So I can see here, so go ahead and unlock that. And for this one as well. Now, keep in mind that higher level attributes and high level job require a ton of skill gemstone. And the best way to get it is actually doing the contents, but also the dungeon itself. So let's go ahead and go to the dungeon right here. So for this dungeon, you can actually get the skill gemstone from here. As you can see here, there's multiple different bosses. I think this is according based on the day that this boss will be available. So today is basically Saturday, so it will be available for Saturday. And you can actually choose difficulty to unlock more skill gemstone. As you can see here, this is gonna be like, I guess, like normal mode. This is easy mode, normal mode, and then we have a hard mode. Alright, so going back to the class attribute, there is actually two different attributes. There is the class attribute, as you can see down here, and there is a skill attributes. Now, for the class attribute, it's actually heavily focused on that specific classes. So, for example, Pyromancer has a bunch of attributes that heavily focused on elemental damage, and then you have Pyromancer that heavily focused on the fire damage, and then you have Cryomancer that focused on ice damage attributes. Now, I have not tested out all these attributes, so I don't know how they actually work, but according to most people, Cryomancer is actually really fun to play, by the way. And going forward, which class you should be picking first, I recommend Elementalist, all the way Elementalist, because it offers so much toolkit that allow you to do single target damage, but also AoE damage, which allow you to farm early games and mid games so you can actually get those silvers and better gear for your character. And eventually you can unlock the Pyromancer and Cryomancer of your choice depending on which class you want to choose. Now eventually you will unlock every single classes for your character, so you don't have to worry about which class you're going to choose first or which class you're going to choose last. So if anything, I would still recommend picking up Elementalist because it offers so much damage potential for early game but also mid game. Anyway, that is pretty much for all this video. Thank you very much for watching. My name is G, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.